Before we go into the briefing, I will please put our phone in silent mode or we switch it off completely. This is to ensure that when the Honorable Commissioner is briefing us, there is no distraction whatsoever. Rendering an account of stewardship is a strategic means of communication which the Lagos State government has adopted for the past 16 years. And consistently for 15 years also, the Ministry of Information and Strategy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask me, I think the Lagos State government and the Ministry of Information policies formulated are implemented to the last letter. Please permit me as I recognize the AG Director Cheiftancy Affairs in person of Mrs. Oyeshiji Mary Violation Matters. A round of applause for him. Mr. Akim Balogun is the Director of Planning and Budget. A round of applause for him too. Mr. Odunton Bankole, a round of applause for him. I also have Director of Local Government Affairs in person of Mr. Shegun. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs is the amiable and easygoing and the coordinating department in the Ministry of Information and Strategy is being headed by no any other person than the eloquent strategist. I'm talking about Mrs. Toro. To some is an activist, to some is a comic, and to some of us is also an academic. Is a strategic communication. I'm talking about no any other person than the Special Advisor to His Excellency on Information and Strategy in person of Mr. Latif Raji. A round of applause for him. SG. You can be our fan by liking our Facebook page on www.facebook.com/followlasg. That much said, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and privilege of inviting the honor.
It marks the last ministerial presentation that will be held by His Excellency Mr. Breifing. It's unique because it will recap what we have successfully done in that ministry in the past 8 years. And unique because we'll be putting the actors that run some of our agencies on the spot, where you will now be able to answer questions from members of the public. We've had a very, very glorious tenure, and the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs has made tremendous contributions to the growth and development of Lagos State. Your impact in the area of local government administration has been a benchmark that is emulated all over the country. So it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium, or welcome you probably to the program itself, my friend and colleague, Mr. Ademorin here, the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs for the last 1 year. As you all know, our vision statement remains the same: to provide qualitative service delivery that is reform-driven and social development for sustainable grassroots development. Our mission statement remains to ensure efficient, transparent administration of the structure of government, and preservation of our cultural heritage through peaceful coexistence among our various communities. Distinguished members of the press, the permanent secretary, the directors here present, I stand firm before you today to give account for our stewardship, particularly mine, as the Honorable Commissioner in charge of the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, by taking a retrospective glance at the achievement of the ministry, which is saddled with the onerous and the unique responsibility of ensuring that governance at the local government is purposeful, meaningful, positively impacting on the lives of every citizen of the state. In doing this, the ministry must balance between the demand for accountability at the lowest level of government and the respect for the constitutional demand for autonomy of the state. Since mounting the saddle of affairs in the state, the governor, with an uncommon performance and legendary achievements, have made it possible to say good news is good news, such that the administration continues to hit the headlines. The media celebrates the turnaround of events in Lagos State. The ministry has taken the local government and the LCDAs, 20 of the local governments and the 37 LCDAs, through series of information and innovations which have undoubtedly brought tremendous improvements at the structure of government, resulting in better and improved standard of living for the citizens. Indeed, the present administration is fully aware of the fact that any form of development at the state level is strongly dependent on the marked development at the grassroots too. Hence, it's reason for a policy trust that is totally people-oriented and rural development driven to the doorstep of the people, right from inception, irrespective of color, creed, tribe. As you all well know, the ministry, in ensuring the successful implementation of this policy, programs and objectives, operates through the following 6 departments: the Finance and Admin Department, the Accounts Department, the Local Government Administration, Local Government Monitoring, the Chieftaincy Affairs, and the Boundary Matters Department. We equally have the following 4 units: Procurement, Press and Public Relations Unit, the people who dragged us to this place today, the Internal Audit Unit, the ICT Unit, and then we equally have the Valuation Office. Coincidentally, the Valuation Office of the state resides in the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. The Department for Local Government Affairs is one of the core operational departments through which this ministry conducts its supervisory roles over the local government and the LCDAs in the state. During the period under review, in conjunction with the State Treasury Office, the ministry facilitated the hosting of the monthly Joint Account Allocation Committee meeting called JAC, and ensured that all local governments and the LCDAs have timely access to their funds as when due. This we do in ensuring the autonomy of the local government, unlike in other states, in terms of full release of federal allocation to our local government and the LCD. We equally ensure the sharing of the state's internally generated revenue, because as provided by the Constitution, the percentage of whatever the state generates comes to the local government. This is equally timely done as enshrined in our Constitution. We should equally ensure the payments of all other revenues collected by state agencies on behalf of the local government, like LASA, like the Land Use Church. The ministry facilitated monthly meetings of His Excellency, the Governor of the state, with the Executive Chairman, and now the Executive Secretaries. And at such meetings, topical issues were deliberated upon and necessary decisions were taken and effected as it affects security, health, particularly the primary healthcare sectors issues, road rehabilitations and construction, drainage construction and clearing of drainage, that's the silting of our drainage, and then the primary school education, and particularly the welfare of the staff and political office holders at the local government. The ministry, in collaboration with the Office of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Taxation and Revenue, sustained the enlightenment of the public on levies and rates that will be collected by the local government in the state. The ministry constantly liaises with Manufacturers Association, the LCCI, on solving issues that affect our local government. The ministry facilitated the timely and proper purchase and allocation of market shops within the newly built ultra-modern Telusho International Market. The ministry advised the local government on economic blueprint of sustainable economic growth and revenue generation without acting outside the purview of the law. The payment of claims on insurance benefits to next of kin of deceased staff of SUBEC, that is teachers at the primary schools, and the numerous staffs of the local government. Improved welfare of local government staff and primary school teachers was engendered through prompt payment of insurance claims to their beneficiaries and equally the pensioners. The ministry continued to monitor the quality of preparation, execution and compliance of approved budgets of each local government and the LCDs. This is with a view to ensuring that budget performance is achieved at a rate of 80 to 90%. The ministry set a new target of budget performance or compliance for the local government and also advocated the re-engineering of fiscal allocation in the local government. It is part of our design to ensure that the recurrent expenditure of our local government is reduced to 40% so that they have sufficient funds for capital expenditure. The ministry, through its market unit, continues to oversee activities of the market associations vis-à-vis registration, renewal of licenses, and adjudication of issues among market factions. In a period under review, 5 commodity market associations were registered and 33 applications were renewed for commodity market associations. This is geared towards increased food production and support for small-scale businesses in our communities. The market board in the office of the Senior Special Assistant to His Excellency of Local Government may continue its weekly market sanitation awareness campaigns and monitoring markets are now cleaner and more hygienic, and traders now observe the weekly sanitation exercise every Thursday without compulsion, as this has become routine there. The ministry continues to play key roles as a liaison agent between the federal agencies and the local government on the issue of Millennium Development Goals, the RAMPAC on provision of proper data for revenue sharing, and in fact, the local government, the ministry has started collecting new data from our local government for the purpose of the review of the sharing policy, which the states have constantly championed. The marriage unit of the ministry generated revenue into the state coffers through the issuance of 120 special licenses, registration of 6 numbers of churches, and renewal of 2 numbers of churches for marriage purposes. The control mechanism put in place has helped reduce the proliferation of marriage institutions and curbed the activities of conmen who aim to dupe innocent citizens. The ministry has been working assiduously with GEM's 3 partners on improving the revenue generation efforts of respective local governments in the state. A pilot project was launched in Ijigo, which recorded a huge success. Additional local governments are set to take off soon in areas such as Ikeja, Agege Ajero, Mushin, Victoria and Abu, Ikoyobalide and Apapa. This partnership is necessary to help reduce revenue loss and block loopholes in revenue generation at the local government. The ministry has continued to play a very important role in the issue of collecting levies and tax from members of the public. The ministry has always assisted in public and in local government to interpret the expectations of government containing the harmonized tax and levies which were published in national newspapers for public consumption. The ministry continues to play a key role by liaising with State Treasury Office to ensure that checks and severance are paid to public political office holders and forwarded to the ministry for onward disbursement to beneficiaries in all the 57 local government and the LCDs. The ministry helped to broker the arrangement to successfully pay severance allowances to political office holders, specifically those that served between the year 1999 to 2002, from 2004 to 2007, and those that served between 2008 to 2011, while arrangement is being made to collect the payment for the same set that served between 2011 and 2014. This has not been an easy thing to do, as the ministry must balance between the need of the pensioners and the need to sustain development of infrastructure, even at the local government. The ministry coordinated and facilitated the release of welfare packages to Lagosians, as well as the distribution of equipment to artisans by the chairman of the local government. The ministry, for the first time, made all the local government and the LCDA do a joint empowerment program, an initiative that has become the source of grassroots development in terms of reach and impact. The ministry successfully, in the last 4 years, midwife has supervised 3 transition periods the local government election that ended in October 2011 and the end of tenure of 2014. The transition period of the council managers at the local government commenced from October 2014 and ended in January 2015. And then the present transition period that we have, where we have the caretaker committee. The local government monitoring department of the ministry is guided by set rules and procedures with which it carries out its ministerial responsibilities. These responsibilities are processing of local government applications for project implementation for His Excellency's approval, inspection of ongoing and completed local government projects, and monitoring of monthly environmental sanitation exercise within the local government and the LCDs. Permit me to add that it is equally the initiative of the ministry to have a monthly meeting with all chief environmental health officers throughout the year. Within the year under review, we make sure that supervision and monitoring of projects for effective service delivery at the local government conform to the laid down principles and best practices obtainable in the state. In the year under review, 10 applications to execute various local government projects were processed for the approval of the ministry. A list of the 5 projects processed for approval are the construction of the legislative building named Freedom House at Amu Ward of it, construction of administrative building complex at Igbedimu, construction of Akiyele Road at Igotun LCDA, construction of multipurpose hall at Aguda, Koko Aguda LCDA, and rehabilitation of legislative building in Badagry, in Ajara, that's Badagry local government. Some of these projects, to the glory of God, have still been completed, have been commissioned by the ministry. The ministry conducted a series of investigations on petitions received from members of public, private organizations, government agencies, and non-government organizations. 150 complaints, petitions were received. Petitions were mainly on the issue of land grabbers, road tolls, misuse of drainages, illegal market, conversion of public roads to commercial activities, charging of arbitrary rates and fines by local government. 24 comprehensive reports were compiled on the aforementioned and recommendations made for authorities' actions. Some of the petitions and complaints treated included the petition on the suit between Lassis and another and Moshi local government, was directly concerned, but Moshi was joined in the case. The case is still pending in the court. Disagreement between stakeholders at Ekuteru, Ipakudu, on the commissioning of the non-commissioning of the market, that's the Ipakudu market, in the Korodu West LCDA. That has since been resolved, and the market has been commissioned. A complaint letter from the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Special Duties, in respect of blockage of entrance of the island office in the Korodu has since been treated, and the matter resolved and the place opened for using. Development of Agbalata markets in Badagry was taken up by the ministry. The matter has since been resolved. The developer contracted by the local government has moved in and they have completed the work. Complaints on the solo LCDA through newspaper publication that Aswani Farubi market was being developed without state government clearance has been attended to, and the developer has been given the necessary approval, even with the support of Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. Petition from the Committee on Defense of Human Rights as regards the HOD agreed motion in respect of a federal LCD CDC election has been addressed. The CDC has started functioning in that local government as expected. The ministry ensured that its officers monitor all the monthly state-wide environmental sanitation exercise in the 57 local government to ensure that local government officials comply with the directive of the exercise. 90 environmental alerts in form of complaints were received and action taken. The alerts were in respect of poor drainages, dirty and unhygienic premises, bad roads, street trading, noise pollution, and flooded areas. Some of the complaints were sent to relevant agencies and the local government for further actions. 22 environmental alerts were issued out from the ministry through our department to various LCDA for necessary actions. The Chieftaincy Affairs Department. The ministry is responsible for the general administration of our traditional institutions across the state in accordance with the Govt And Cheiftancy Law and 2 of Lagos State of 2003. The ministry takes care of the general welfare of all recognized Govt And Chiefs and ensure that the customs, culture, and the values of our people do not go into extinction. The ministry actively participated in conflict resolution, works on request, and application for all cadres of traditional rulers in the state. The reconstituted Council of Govt And Chiefs continues to hold its monthly meeting every last Thursday of the month, during which matters affecting traditional institutions and securities in the state are discussed. A case in point is a woman in the Lekki and is parading herself as Obaomi, which contravenes the Govt And Chiefs law of the state. The matter has been reported to the Ministry of Justice. They have taken necessary action, and just last week we received a letter from the Commissioner of Police asking for our opinion on the matter, which we have quickly attended. It should be noted that as at date, there are 324 traditional rulers across the 5 divisions of the state. We have the chairman, the permanent chairman of the Council of Govt, that's the Oba of Lagos, 1. We have 50 numbers of first-class Obas. We have 47 second-class Obas. We have 37 white-cap chiefs between Lagos, Badagry, and the Ikorodu divisions. And we have 191 approved and recognized chiefs and valets in the state. Any other number outside of this, they are fake, and we are dealing with them accordingly. There are so many of them that we have had to arrest them in public, take them to the police. They are charged to court for parading themselves. People kind of like titles the law, and when they are not lawfully given, they take it up themselves. In the period under review, the ministry processed 44 applications for recognition and upgrading of chieftaincies too. These are in respect of matters concerning obas, chiefs, and bailiffs in the state. It equally includes replacement, of deceased obas, where we have vacant too, like we have in Ikorodu now. We have vacant too in Agbowa, in Kusi, and so many other places like that. His Excellency, the Governor of the state, has presented staff of office to Prince Mufutau Olariwaju Ogunukon of Muja Ruling House as Adegbaju of Odo Igbaojo Ileredo LCDA on Wednesday, 19th of March 2015. Adisa Agoyemi Oroja of the Fatumi Ruling House and also be presented to the staff of office as the Oba of Meron in Agbado Kerudu LCDA on the 31st of December 2014. The state has graciously given approval and recognition to 7 new chiefs and bailiffs in Ibeju-Lekki, which include the Iwajoba of Akodo, the Baale of Okunse, Baale of Okuntiye, Olisa of Orimedu, Akpebi of Orimedu, Aro of Orimedu, Losi of Orimedu. About 27 chieftaincy matters have been referred to the Standing Tribunal of Inquiry for adjudication. The ministry has this Tribunal of Inquiry who looks into applications for either upgrading of bailiffship to overship. And as we're talking, they have before them 27 of such applications. The offices of the Chieftaincy Standing Tribunal have been totally rehabilitated, while the Tribunal has commenced inquiry into all the applications that we mentioned for upgrading to overship from various divisions of the state. Furnishing of 3 palaces, the Alara of Ilara, the Palace of Suenu, and the Anyongun of Ikorodu have been concluded. The Palace of Alara has since been commissioned and handed over to the Oba and the community. The ministry equally, during the period under review, organized in conjunction with the Ministry of Health, Executive Health Spring for traditional rulers in the state. The exercise is still ongoing. Purchase of official vehicles for our Obas and chiefs. In line with its statutory role, the ministry facilitated the procurement and the presentation of 100 brand new official cars to our Obas and chiefs. The governor presented these vehicles for ease of movement in the discharge of their official duties. Without handling and blowing one's trumpet, we make one to say that our Obas and chiefs in Lagos are the most well taken care of in the country. The Boundary Matters Department. As the name implies, the Boundary Department oversees boundary issues and ensures a cordial and mutual relationship with other states with which Lagos State shares boundary. The function of this department are derived from the statutory duties of the Lagos State Boundary Committee and the National Boundary Commission Law enacted in 2006, which established the State Boundary Committee. The ministry also oversees the resolution of conflicts and enhances security in the state. Within the period under review, the underlisted are part of its accomplished mission. The settlement of the boundary dispute between Ilokwere. Now, in this particular issue, there was dispute between Ilokwere which is in Olorunda LCDA, and another area which is in Ogun State. Now, the Oba, the Onilogo Eremi, which is the Oba in that area, decided that the particular area under dispute is in Lagos State, whereas Ogun State was claiming the same and wanted to put a ballet there. The matter has since been resolved, and our own ballet has been put in this place. Government white paper on Ijebe and Ekwe, civil disturbance. In this area, there was a dispute between Ijebe and Ekwe over the ownership of an area called Epapa. Now, according to the story that we had, Epapa said they are part of Ijebe. Ekwe said Epapa is part of, is part of Ekwe, and this matter was settled for us by a committee set up by the government, headed by Justice Bishola, who resolved the matter. The matter has since been resolved, and this community continue to enjoy harmony and peace. Boundary dispute between Agege and Ikeja local government and Oriade. The ministry communicated necessary information to the local government involved in the dispute based on reports of the Surveyor General. The permanent secretary of the ministry, of our ministry, has been very instrumental in solving this dispute because he actually has worked in the place and he lives among them. So he was able to tell all of them that rather than fighting over revenue because of this place belongs to this particular region, and we are able to resolve it in no time. Other boundary dispute between Lagos and Ogun State has equally been resolved. The matter is presently with the National Boundary Commission, and we are expecting report to show that Odeobi actually is part of Lagos State and not Ogun State. The gist of the matter is that Olokola refinery, Olokola refinery is around that place. So everybody is like looking for revenue. So Ogun State says it belongs to them. Lagos says it belongs to us. Therefore, the matter has been resolved, has been taken to the National Boundary Commission. We are awaiting the report of that commission. Lagos State Valuation Office. The Lagos State Valuation Office, which is domiciled in the ministry, is responsible for the enumeration, inspection, assessment, and valuation of all rateable properties throughout the state. The office is saddled with promoting the development of sustainable standard of governance through asset valuation, of management and maintenance. In the period under review, rental valuation of 33 properties from the Office of the Head of Service for use as agency's office and accommodation of senior staff have been taken. 35 properties were also valued for sale, purchase purposes. 40 valuation for disposal of serviceable items, body of items were conducted for the Office of the Head of Service and other NDAs. This includes the generators that were taken out of the various ministries. The ministry carried out the valuation of all Lagos State government assets in the entire secretariat complex, which turned out to be the first phase. The total number of 101 landed properties, 29,720 furniture, equipment, plants, and machinery were also identified. The ministry further carried out valuation of 297 parks and gardens in the state for the purpose of generating grain ground rent to assist LAFA in the maintenance of parks and gardens. The Directorate is responsible, as the GFA, for coordinating learning and development, employee relations, disciplines, and general administration of the staff in the ministry. The staff strength of the ministry in the year under review is 137, comprising of 58 males and 89 females. 7 members of staff retired statutorily from the ministry during the period under review. Learning and development, 41 members of staff were nominated for various training programs by the Ministry of Establishment, Training and Pension, and Lagos State Public Service Staff Development. Promotion of 2 staff were done. Government, in conclusion, government shall remain undaunted, focused and unrelenting in our drive towards bringing dividend of democracy to the doorstep of the citizens of this state and the actualization of the goals of government. I must at this point appeal to the good people of Lagos State to continue to cooperate with our government at the grassroots by prompt payment of taxes and rates as at when due, as project implementation is a corollary of payment of taxes. In appreciation, gentlemen of the press, let me round up this address by thanking you one more time for your steadfast support for the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs in the last 4 years of my stay in office. I thank the electorate for voting massively for our great party again, the All Progressive Congress, and for being the agents of change that we so much desire. I urge you to extend your hand of friendship and support to the incoming government of continuity, be headed by the dynamic Mr. Akin Obiamobi, to take Lagos State to the next level. Conclusively, and most importantly, I thank the Almighty God, the author and the finisher, the one who was, who is, and who is to come, for his infinite mercies and guardians. May his name be praised forever, for having it all in praise. Thank all the members of the staff of the ministry, from the least to the most senior member of staff, for their support, and submit that without you, maybe this would not have been possible. Pray to God to continue to uphold you all in time of your need, and I pray His grace will always be sufficient for you at all times. Thank you all for listening. God bless you.
Gentlemen of the press.
With that, I have